All right, what's up, y'all? Just keep backing up, I guess, until I'm actually in the frame. I think I'm in the frame. Can't see for sure, but today's Earth Day. That doesn't really change anything about this video other than it's cool to address because we're all on the same one. Welcome. This is In the Image Clothing Company Dogs, and the reason that I'm going to say it like that, as far as like welcome, is this is our second video on this fourth of our company. My name is Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company, all four sides as a whole. This is our newest side, and the first video was just our launch video, and so this one, it's kind of a welcome. This is our first piece of content, really, besides just announcing what we are. So, In the Image Clothing Company, yeah, we have four sides to us, and we do specific things on each side, but the goal is natural, and the key word is allowing. It all started on the main side of In the Image Clothing Company, where it's about the human body. It's just a mechanical machine placed on an earth with gravity, and we show through clothing how to just not restrict the body and let it be what it is. We have In the Image Clothing Company music as another fourth, where I show sizings and setups of guitars to do the same thing. No alteration to the hands because they're essentially the shoulders, and we just gotta let the body work. We have another third, which is a fourth. Yikes, right? This is new to me, having four sides, and it's going to be awesome because In the Image Clothing Company Dogs is going to be huge because me personally, I'm going to be breeding standard poodles, and there's a lot that we're going to do with that. So yeah, In the Image Clothing Company podcast is another fourth we have, with discussions on the gospel of Jesus Christ, aka the truth of all things. We all live, as I said earlier, on the same earth. It's Earth Day today, and how is this what it is, and who designed it, and how do we navigate it? It's not a religious place, but we discuss the truth of all things. There has to be a truth, otherwise how could any of this be? Okay? And we discuss how, right? So the thing is, here on In the Image Clothing Company Dogs, there's a lot happening, unnatural things nowadays, as there is within clothing for human beings or just anything that we come in contact with, man-made synthetic materials, and a lot of that's in dog toys and accessories, collars, leashes, harnesses, imbalanced, uneven, altering dogs the way that human beings get altered by clothing. And that's what we're going to be doing here. This video specifically, though, is the benefits of large dog breeds. And here's the thing is, people have their opinions and people have their preferences, and people might like a certain breed of dog and it's only in a smaller size. But I'm going to go over things that are actually undisputed universal benefits for a large sized dog, because we are In the Image Clothing Company, and our whole key word is allowing when it comes to the human body, allowing it to work. And it's only ever going to do what it does, and it's on an earth with gravity, and it has a center line, sternum, spine, trachea, nose, jaw, which stabilizes. We're just a mechanical machine. And when we spend so much time with an animal that's very small, our bodies have to do the thing, right? We have to get to that animal. And it happens in ways that are different than just reaching down to pet a small dog. And it's not just if you're tall. I'm 6'2" tall, so I'm pretty tall. And it's farther for me to get to like a toy poodle, for example, which is 10 inches or smaller, small little dog, than somebody who's like 5'2", 5'5" even, 5'8" even, right? To get down to a smaller dog. It's not only those things though, but there's benefits for both the owners of the dogs and the dog itself to having the dog closer to the height of its owner. Because what I see when I'm looking around, I see, because I'm the founder of In the Image Clothing Company, people's physical patternings within their bodies. Caused by what they're wearing, I see why people are in imbalances and not able to operate their bodies the only way they're designed to work. But I also see the separation between owners of dogs and their dog. And sometimes dogs feel like more of an accessory that you're kind of dragging around on the ground with a leash like this, and your body's taking a beating. But also the dog, from the leash, it's being pulled upward. The leash is going to connect around the neck of the dog, or if it's a harness, it's around the dog still, underneath it. And if you have a leash on a small dog, you're going to be pulling it up off the ground if there's any tension placed onto that leash. And that does a lot of things. If it's on a collar, or if it's a slip lead or something around the dog's neck, you're pulling pressure, or if the dog is the one pulling, it's straight to the trachea of the dog, which is the tube in the neck, like the human beings, that's in the center where the breathing happens. And so that's not good on the dog's health. And also, like I said about the owner, you're being pulled down like this, and it's just altering your whole body. And people already get so upset with their dogs, and rightfully so in ways, right? In 2 degrees, when the dog's pulling and it's not listening. But you as an owner are going to get more upset because you're being pulled down, and so now you can't breathe either, right? But also the dog's being physically choked as well. So that's one of the benefits of a large dog breed, is just having it on a leash alone. And what that's going to do, let's take a standard size poodle, right? As far as for the size of it, it could be any breed that's close to that size, but speaking out of personal experience, right? For me, standard poodles is what I will have. And now you're here, right? The head of a standard poodle, even though I'm 6'2" tall, is something that I can pet around the ear, around the face of the dog, top of the head, and my arms can stay in their only neutral working position, and I don't have to alter to get to the dog. And so for me, that's good. For my temperament, right? We talk about dogs' temperaments, but as I was saying about how you can get so altered physically by trying to work with a small dog that your own temperament as the owner can kind of go out the window, and you can get frustrated and worked up and physically sore, right? So having a large dog breed, if I have a leash here, okay, dog's head right around this area for a standard poodle size, and the neck's like here of the dog, and the leash is here, it's pretty well the same height as where the leash, right, is going to connect to the dog. And so now you're walking your dog like this, and look at Evan Strong's posture walking his standard size poodle, right? A large dog breed, right here. Okay? Versus a small dog. And then I'm trying to stand up as the dog's pulling me. You see what I mean? So that's why I say these what I'm saying in this video specific are universal things for everybody. Yeah, people are different heights, but compared to the height of something like a toy poodle size, right? Even if you're a relatively short human being, somewhere around 5 foot tall, that's still quite the distance you have to reach down. So that's having dogs on leashes. And the big thing too is if you're trying to get a dog to heel and just follow next to you, or just stay close to you without pulling, if you have the leash in your hands and you have a large dog breed, when the dog pulls or any tension gets put onto the leash, it's going to pull the dog closer to you. Rather than what we were talking about with the small dog breeds, it's gonna pull the dog like off the ground. But you have a leash here, if the dog starts to move or pull, even if it's going forward, the leash connecting to the side of the dog here is just gonna pull it closer to you. And so that just reinforces that heel position naturally. And when any pulling from that position does happen, it's not straight on the trachea of the dog. It's gonna be on the side of its neck. And then the dog needs to continue to walk forward, and so it will kind of naturally correct just because it has to walk. And so that's a huge benefit. Wind noise, I'm addressing it, I get it. In the Image Clothing Company is raw and real, all right? So no special microphones as of this video. If you can hear what I'm saying, you can hear what I'm saying. And I'm almost certain you can. So, at least, almost certain. But yeah, large dog breeds. The other thing is, like I said, with the separation that I can see, I feel like dogs sometimes, even if they're getting a lot of attention from their owners, if they're a small dog breed or a small size of a breed that has multiple sizes, like a poodle, right? There's the toy, the miniature, and the standard, and then debatably other sizes as well. But even if you're giving the small dog a lot of attention, it's like this. It's like looking up to you as if you're so far away from it. And so there's that physical separation. There's a small dog. That's funny because that's what I'm talking about. But that's really what happens. It's as if there's like this, no matter how much attention's being placed, still this like, the dog can't get to you. And then that's the big thing, right? Small dogs, if they're jumping and jumping up on you, they're trying to just get to you. And a large dog, you're already here. You can pet the dog. You can stand and look, and you've got normal body workings and mechanics, and you're petting your dog with your hand at your own side where it would naturally be. So, right? Undisputed universal benefits to a large dog breed. By no means does that mean you have to own a certain size of dog because there are benefits, but there are benefits. There's also things that come from it, right? It's probably going to eat more food, takes up more space when you're traveling or in any location that you're at, right? But there is a lot of benefits to it, and benefits that aid in the well-being of both of you. So the other thing is sitting down on the ground, or anywhere you're sitting, I guess, but for the sake of the human body's function, the ground is the most natural thing to sit on for the angles and keeping the body working. If you were to sit on the ground with a large dog, standard poodle size and Evan strong, eye level is just about there between the dog and I, if I'm sitting on the ground, and so is the dog. And so there's just not a separation. The dog can have its attention on you more, and the dog feels your attention on it more, even if there's not more or less attention being placed onto it, regardless of the size, right, by you. So there's some benefits, definitely, to having a large dog. And oh wait, just a second for the airplane. Because I think, I don't know if you can hear this yapping. There's a little bit of a yappy dog over here. Small dog. I think one of the reasons, well, it's not even that I think, but I think that's one of the biggest reasons. I know it's definitely a thing that's happening. Because the dogs feel the separation, it's like them jumping up on you. Dogs will yap and yap and yap and bark and bark and bark if they're small, because it's like a little kid. Kids feel out of place. And kids feel like they can't be seen or heard because adults are looking and hearing up here, and kids are multiple feet lower than them. It's the same thing with a small dog versus a large dog that's so much closer to just where we are, height-wise. And so little dogs will yap. And there's one doing it right now. And that's one of the big reasons why. So there you go. There's some reasons, some universal benefits to a large dog breed, and we'll get into it. Yeah, because a lot of things when it comes to training dogs or just getting dogs to obey or listen, it really is size. It's physical pullings and inability to hear or see you, right? So there really is a lot that happens and comes from the sizings of dogs. So we'll get into it though. We'll talk about so much. And yeah, this side of the company, it's going to be something that's not something I ever expected even being able to do in my life. And it's going to be huge. On In the Image Clothing Company podcast, I've talked about this a lot. since somewhere around 102, the number of episodes to current, which we're on 107, somewhere between there, a few of those episodes have been specifically just about dogs. And yeah, we're gonna get into so much here, but there's a lot like this that's just discussion wise that I don't have to necessarily have a dog with me to do. And so I don't have to wait until I personally get poodles to make content for this side of the company that can help. So yeah. All right, cool. Anyway, In the Image Clothing Company, dogs is where you're at. We got 3 other sides you can check out. The things that we talk about apply to everybody, universal things that will never change. So check us out if you want. And yeah, we will have collars, leashes available, right? Things for dogs to allow them to stay natural, as we have in the Image Clothing Company clothing when we do. Just no restriction, okay? So thank you, and thank you. This is my first video on this side of the company, so I feel a little bit like new, because I am, right? And I also don't know if my head's slightly cut off, and if it is, all right, cool, right? So yeah, anyway, look out for it. Standard poodles, purebreds, Evan Strong, In the Image Clothing Company dogs. Thank you.